Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the Riptide case, the absolutely crazy things going on with it, and a couple other things. Let's hop on into it. Now if you watched my last video, you might have been under the perception that the CSGO case market is rapidly changing, and to an extent it definitely is. But the thing is, we were only seeing this with a couple isolated cases. We saw the Operation Breakout weapon case that increased significantly, over 25% in just the span of a month, roughly, which is absolutely crazy for something that's such a stable and already expensive case. And then we had the fracture case, which obviously had an increase due to a couple outside factors. Now it's only sitting at around 100,000 quantity, which is a significant decrease from where it was at. But the thing is, the majority of the cases really haven't been doing much. If we check out some other big name cases like the Spectrum 2 case here, you can see there's not really much going on. The Spectrum 2 is relatively stable, at least at this point, and that stands for the majority of cases. We really have not seen any cases go absolutely crazy in the past week, except for one, and that's basically what we're going to be breaking down today. The case we're talking about is the Operation Riptide case, which is very unique because it is now the most expensive operation case out of the past 3 operations, and it's also the newest. Shattered Web is one that was the farthest to go, and now it's the cheapest. Operation Broken Fang, which everyone thought was going to be oversupplied, is now sitting at over $1.60, and the Riptide case is looking like it's on an easy track to $2.50. Talking about the Riptide case specifically, there's nothing that stands out significantly. Obviously, you've got the much cheaper options in the Dreams and Nightmares case, which contains the same knives, which presumably is what a lot of people are opening up the Riptide case for. If we look at the coverts inside of it, there's not really anything to be desired there, in my opinion. The ROI is bad to worse. Depending on where you look, it ranges from below 50% pretty much everywhere. CSGO ROI puts it at 41%, Jonesy.mo puts it at 48%. The Operation Riptide case did have a lot going for it because of its predecessor, Operation Broken Fang. See, with Operation Broken Fang and RMR, both of those can be clumped together as overinvested. Broken Fang ended up being a quite okay investment depending on where you look. Overall, the Operation skins are still down significantly from their points of profitability, but you've got things like the case, which were carried by the M4A1S print stream, out of that slump they were in. So now the case is at least profitable. Same with some of the stickers. But the thing is, a lot of people were scared or hesitant to invest into Riptide and Stockholm because of what we saw with RMR and Broken Fang. Both of these events are linked together as being overinvested for the predecessor, and then the actual event of Stockholm and Riptide were able to be very profitable. This is one of the greatest things the Riptide case has going for it, is it's got a relatively low quantity compared to the past operation case. Broken Fang has got a ton of cases out there, whereas you look at Riptide, currently on the market it's got 6,000. You know I don't like market quantity as an overall estimate of how many are out there. There's a ton of these cases out there, don't get me wrong, but there's significantly less than the rest of them or their competition. Now, my investment into Riptide was the entirety of 250 cases, and I picked these up all around that 50 to 60 cent price point during the bottom time during the operation, where the case was very low, and now it's significantly more expensive. I'm starting to slowly liquidate off some of my cases here for Riptide. I've sold about 100 so far, and most of them have been around $1.90 to $2 in that price point range, which is still a very good profit, and I'm very happy with that. I'm currently holding on to 150 cases because I'm going to still slowly liquidate off these cases, especially if the price keeps on rising. But I think this is a case that next time an operation comes around, this one's definitely going to be one of the more volatile ones, as when we see the price drop for it. I think next time that operation comes around, a lot of the people that only play for the operation could potentially have a decent amount of the Riptide case sitting in their inventory, and therefore they're just going to go sell them off on the market. Therefore, I believe the Riptide case is a little bit more volatile than something like the other operation cases from a couple operations ago. Those ones have had time to mature to get their price point. The Riptide's price point has been a little bit more rushed. And speaking of selling, I'm not the only one. In the past, I made a video about someone called Jawar. They had 350,000 cases at the time I made that video, over 6 months ago at this point, and they were also selling off some Riptide skins. I actually caught them in the act. As you can see here, they mentioned mentioned, they were selling off only 700, and this is a really good thing a lot of CSGO investors struggle to do. You gotta realize that there's going to be a point where things are not going to indefinitely keep on rising. You should always be taking some profit, or at least have a plan when you're going to be taking your profit. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck on one of the downfalls of these peaks, and you are going to just be scrambling to get your money back potentially if you invested in at a little bit of a higher price point than that is ideal. Talking about how relevant the Riptide case is, if we want to look at unboxing numbers for August 2022, Operation Riptide had over 400,000 cases unboxed, and just to give you a little bit of perspective on that, that's more than the CS20 case, that's roughly the same as the glove case, that's more than the Chroma 2 case, more than the breakout case, more than the Gamma case even. So this case is still definitely very relevant, and it's something that a lot of people are still unboxing, even though it's currently holding, wherever you look, one of the worst ROIs for CSGO cases, meaning that people are definitely after the knives inside of it. The Dreams and Nightmares case is obviously very prominent. It's got 2.7 million unboxed in August 2022, but that's to be expected for an active dropping case. So now let's get down to the overall decision. The end of the day, what's going to happen for you as an investor, what you should be doing as an investor. In my opinion, I think this might be a better time to either hold your cases or sell your cases. I don't think picking up the Riptide case in its current form is going to be the best move for you going forward. And I say this for one big reason. A lot of these cases are held by investors or people who don't commonly play the game. Because let's be honest, if you commonly played the game and you saw this case go from 50 cents to $1, you most likely would be to sell if you weren't investing into CSGO. Therefore, I believe a lot of these cases currently are held in the hands of people who just don't actively play the game. They just played for Riptide and then they just kind of faded away. And therefore, I think once the next CSGO operation or next big CSGO update hits, a lot of these people will be coming back and selling off this case specifically. It's a case that nearly everyone has made profit on at this point, which makes it a very easy option to sell. Are you going to sell the case that you made a 10% profit on, or are you going to sell the case that you made a 200% profit on? It's a very easy decision for a significant amount of people, especially those who aren't that into CSGO investing. You combine that with the two major factors that have also helped the price rise, one being the still increased price of the Dreams and Nightmares case. Obviously, we've seen our active duty cases up extremely high in price from where they normally at, which was 3 cents, but it's still got a decently high price point that's definitely helping a lot of people pick the Riptide case, at least in this situation. And you combine that with the fact that there's still no more quantity being added for the Riptide case, being that it's discontinued, and I think you're in a pretty good situation for a long-term investment. I just don't think right now is going to be the best move for you to pick it up, but as always, that's my opinion and you should always formulate your own. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.